As audiences, we know what scares us, but it's still nice to have some official validation when we're defending our decision to sleep with the lights on. Viewers who are terrified of a select few horror films now have that validation, thanks to a study called the Science of Scare Project.
I'm so startled.
The Science of Scare Project was conducted by a platform called Broadband Choices, which measured viewers' heart rates via BPM as they sat through a selection of scary movies. Researchers determined viewers' resting heart rates, then measured for both new averages and momentary BPM spikes throughout the films. According to an infographic shared by Forbes, a panel of 50 participants were fitted with heart rate monitors and subjected to a total of 50 horror films, all screened in 5.1 surround sound. The films were curated based on a mix of critical favorites and Reddit recommendations and included classics like The Shining, The Thing, and Halloween, along with plenty of newer horror hits. According to the results of this study, no other horror movie got hearts pumping like Scott Derrickson's 2012 film, Sinister. The Ethan Hawke-led film follows a true crime writer who moves his family to a house where multiple murders occurred, and soon becomes enraptured by a box of apparent snuff films he finds in the attic. Sinister is overwhelmingly unsettling. From the moment it opens on Super 8 footage of a family eerily swinging from a hanging tree, down to its last-second jump scare. Sinister narrowly beat out James Wan's new classic, Insidious, for the #1 spot in the study's ranked results. While Sinister raised viewers' resting heart rates 32% on average, Insidious cornered the market on jump scares. Participants watching Insidious saw their heart rate spike to 133 BPM during the film's moment of highest anxiety. If you've seen the movie, you can probably guess which scene it is. If not, well, here you go.
I can still hear that voice.
There are a few surprises among the Science of Scare Project's results. Other 21st century favorites, including Hereditary, Paranormal Activity, and It Follows, are included among the 10 biggest scarers. But so is M. Night Shyamalan's horror comedy, The Visit.
Going to get you, Becca.
Meanwhile, the first pre-2000 horror movie ranks at number 13. A Nightmare on Elm Street barely beat out two other classics, Halloween and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, raising heart rates 12 BPM above average. According to their website, the Science of Scare Project is still ongoing. In 2021, they did the same test, only with 250 participants and a slate of 40 films, including several recent releases. In fact, a new release already dethroned Sinister in the project's latest batch of results. Rob Savage's Host, a quarantine-set horror film taking the structure of a Zoom hangout, raised viewers' heart rates 24 BPM on average, while Sinister and Insidious came in second and third place with a 22 and 21 BPM difference, respectively. Researchers' attempts to stay on the cutting edge of horror mean that some classics that made the Science of Scare Hall of Fame during the project's first round are not represented in the newer set of results. Classics like Scream didn't crack the top 30 among the larger 2021 study.
Oh no.
Meanwhile, new crowd pleasers like The Invisible Man and A Quiet Place Part 2 got hearts pumping, coming in at number 26 and number 8 on the list, respectively. One of the most noteworthy new entries is Terrified, a seriously freaky Argentinian film about paranormal experiences that climbed all the way to number 6. As huge horror fans here at Slash Film, we would love it if this study kicked off a trend of scientific research related to horror. It would be incredible to see how different viewers with different levels of exposure react to the genre. Is a movie scarier if you go into it knowing little about it, or with high expectations? Are non-horror fans more easily scared, or do downright freaky films like Sinister scare seasoned genre veterans just as much as genre newcomers?
I think so.
Hopefully we'll get answers to these questions in the future. For now, you can at least tell your hardcore horror friends you have a highly scientific reason to continue putting off watching Hereditary.